Hello everyone, welcome back to Stoics Every Day. I can see that you are trying hard to get others' attention. You may be going out of your way, making elaborate plans, and doing all sorts of things just to make them laugh or notice you. But what impact is this having on you? You seem to have forgotten your own value. You're sacrificing your own worth for the sake of someone who doesn't appreciate it. And that's where you've got it wrong. Seriously, what are you doing to yourself? Don't you see your own value? Do you honestly think running after them, begging for their attention, is going to change a thing? Wake up. They won't miss you, they won't value you, and they sure as hell won't come crawling back when you're always there, desperate for a shred of their approval. You've tried everything, haven't you? And where has it gotten you? Nowhere. You think if you just get their love, their attention, it'll complete you, right? That somehow their approval is the missing piece in your life? If that's what you're betting on, you're dead wrong. You're not becoming stronger by chasing them. You're not powerful when you give your energy away like it's nothing. Where's your backbone? Where's your self-respect? When you're constantly seeking their validation, you're telling them that you have no value unless they decide to give it to you. And that's exactly why they don't value you. Seneca said, "We suffer more in imagination than in reality." And right now, your imagination is killing you. You're imagining that if you just keep trying, they'll eventually notice your worth. But here's the truth, they won't. Not until you pull back. Not until you stop groveling. Not until you show them that you're absolutely fine without them. Do you want them to miss you? Then stop trying to make them. Stop thinking their love is what's missing in your life. Walk away. Let them feel your absence. That's when they'll realize what they've lost. But right now, you're giving them every reason to forget you. I know this is tough. Right now, they're consuming your thoughts. You're replaying every moment in your mind, wondering if they're thinking about you too. But listen, you have to do this. You have to step back. In a world moving this fast, no one values the person who is always there, always available, waiting for the tiniest scrap of attention. Here's the hard truth. They probably prefer it this way. Let's get real. They're likely using you because you're convenient, you're easy. While they're enjoying the attention you give, they're already looking elsewhere. They're drawn to someone who knows their worth. Someone who doesn't need their validation to feel complete. They're attracted to strength, to independence, to the person who doesn't care whether they stay or go because they know they'll be fine either way. That's who they're looking at, and that's who you could be. But right now, you're letting yourself be used, and they see it. So why would they respect you? Why would they value you when you don't even value yourself? It's time to stop being so available. Start showing them what it feels like to miss you. Show them what it's like when you're no longer their backup plan, and start living like someone who knows their own worth. So how are you going to do this? How do you make them miss you the most? That's exactly what we're diving into today. You'll be amazed at how powerful this shift can be. This isn't some modern-day tactic either. This wisdom runs deep. The Stoics themselves understood the power of detachment, of stepping back and letting others feel the weight of your absence. They knew the art of making people realize your worth, not by always being there, but by not being there. When you stop pouring all your energy into someone who takes you for granted, when you pull back and refocus that energy on yourself, they'll notice. They'll feel it. And trust me, that's when they'll start missing you in ways you never imagined. The more you hold your own, the more they'll crave what they've lost. Today, we're breaking down exactly how to apply this ancient wisdom to your modern life. Get ready, because things are about to change. You're going to see just how powerful you truly are when you stop chasing and make them chase you. So let's affirm this power within us. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do. Close your eyes and affirm with me, I refuse to beg. Feel that power inside you. Let it sink in. Let it fuel you. And don't stop here. Take it a step further. Drop it in the comments. Let the universe know exactly where you stand. No longer are you the one chasing or begging. This is your moment. Are you ready to explore the 10 things that will happen when you decide to give them the absence treatment? Trust me, this is where the real change begins. Let's dive in. Number 1, they will feel overlooked and invisible. You've made the important decision to stop chasing, begging, and being the one who is always there for someone who doesn't value you as you deserve. At first, they might not even notice your absence. They have become so accustomed to your constant presence that it will take some time for them to realize something is different. It's like air. You don't notice it until it's gone. You have been their air. And when that suddenly disappears, they will start to panic. Well, let's be honest. This isn't easy. Walking away and giving them the absence treatment will feel like tearing yourself apart. You have invested so much time and energy trying to keep them in your life, and now you're stepping back. Your mind will play tricks on you, filling you with thoughts like, what if this makes them pull away even more? Or, what if they forget me altogether? That's just fear talking. The fear of losing something you never truly had. You need to push through that fear. When you constantly give, when you're always available, and when you never allow them to miss you, they start to believe they are the center of your world. They think you will always be there. That's why they might not notice your absence at first. They believe you'll return. But when you don't come back, when they realize the dynamic has shifted, that's when the realization hits them hard. Imagine someone in your life who is always there, making plans, calling, and seeking your attention. Then one day, they just stop. Initially, you might think, oh, they'll call me later, or they must be busy. But as days and weeks pass with no contact, you start to feel their absence. You begin to wonder why they stopped reaching out and what changed. This is exactly how they will feel when you pull back. Your absence creates a void, making them feel invisible. They will start questioning themselves and wondering why you are no longer around. The kicker? They will miss the attention they once took for granted. You were the one who made them feel important, seen, and valued. Now that's gone, and they're left in the dark, wondering what happened to the spotlight that was always on them. Why did they feel invisible? It's because they have partially built their sense of worth on the attention you provided. When you take that away, they must confront themselves without your validation. They will begin to feel small and insignificant. This isn't about playing games. It's about helping them realize the importance of what they have been ignoring. You are not a backup plan or an afterthought. You are a valuable person. And they are about to see that value in a new light. Now, what if it feels hard? What if every part of you screams to reach out, to check in, or to send just one little text? This is where the real battle happens within you. You'll feel the pull to return to what's familiar, even if it hurts. Your mind will try to convince you that walking away is a mistake, that they might move on if you stop trying. This is fear talking, not your strength. Fear keeps you stuck in a loop, chasing after someone who never valued you in the first place. Here's the harsh truth. The more you chase, the more they run. The more available you are, the less they respect you. People value what they fear losing. If you're always there, they will never feel the need to pursue you or understand what it's like to be without you. That's why the absence treatment works. It forces them to confront their fear and feel the same invisibility you felt for so long. Imagine this. You have been a steady light in their life, always shining. They have basked in your warmth, assuming it will always be there. Now that the light is gone, they feel cold and alone, as if something essential has been taken from them. That's how they will feel when you give them the absence treatment. They will feel invisible because they never truly appreciated your presence. What if you don't walk away? If you keep showing up, trying and begging for their attention, you will teach them one thing. They can continue to use you and ignore you because you will never leave. You will become stuck in a cycle where your worth is tied to their validation, and they will never give you the validation you crave. Why would they? You've shown them that you're willing to settle for scraps. That's why you must pull back and let them feel your absence. It may seem impossible at first, like you're walking away from something you desperately want. But that's the illusion. What you truly want is their respect and attention, and you won't get that by always being there. By stepping back, you force them to realize what they've lost. They will start to feel invisible in your world, and that's when they will begin to chase you. You must do this. It will be hard, and it will hurt initially. Every instinct inside you will tell you that walking away will push them further away. But the truth is, it's the only way for them to see your value. They won't recognize your worth until they experience your absence, and that absence will hit them hard. So here's your affirmation for today. I no longer chase. Let it sink in and feel it in your bones. If you're ready, share it in the comments. Let the world and the universe know where you stand. You are no longer chasing, begging, or waiting for their validation. You are walking away, and trust me, they will feel it. Number 2, their daily routines start falling apart. So folks, after you've decided to give them the absence treatment, the next thing that happens, their daily routines start falling apart. It may seem dramatic, but it's true. People thrive on routines and habits, often unconsciously basing their lives around a constant presence like you. When that stability falters, at first, they may try to act as if everything is normal and brush off your absence, believing you'll return as you always have. However, as days turn into weeks without you, the reality begins to sink in. This realization doesn't happen all at once. It creeps in during quiet moments when they used to expect your support or comfort. Your absence creates silence where there once was familiarity. It's essential to understand that this is not a time to wait around for them to notice. Instead, focus on your own growth in life. You've moved on and found your own validation, which is the true strength here. While you are out living your life, they may struggle to understand why they feel off. Initially, they may miss the little things, like venting to you after a tough day or receiving a good morning text. But the absence affects more than just communication. It disrupts their emotional routine. They begin to realize that you were a source of stability, and now that stability is gone, creating a sense of unease. As they wrestle with their emotions, they might question if they did something wrong or wonder why you haven't reached out. These thoughts can emerge unexpectedly during their daily activities, and that's your absence making an impact. You are not waiting for a response. You've transitioned beyond them, and they can sense it. You're not just taking a break, you are actively living your life without being available to them. Initially, they may not check their phone regularly, but over time, curiosity can turn into a sense of need. They may start thinking about what you're doing, and doubts can chip away at their confidence. Their emotional routine depended on your presence, and when that foundation crumbles, everything else begins to unravel. Your role in their life was never just as a placeholder. You had goals, a life, and people who appreciate you. You are no longer the one waiting in the background, and as their routine destabilizes, they will realize they relied on you more than they cared to admit. You were their emotional support, and now they must confront that void. They may look for someone else to fill that gap, but it won't work, as no one can replicate what you provided. As they struggle to reconstruct their routine, they may not understand why everything feels out of sync. Meanwhile, while their life falls apart, you're busy building yours. You aren't waiting for them to reach out or hoping for a message. You are moving forward, shifting the power dynamics. It's no longer in their hands. Let them feel the consequences of taking you for granted. They will notice the missing pieces in their day where you used to be. Their routines, habits, and sense of stability will continue to deteriorate, and all the while, you will be thriving. Stay tuned, as we will soon delve deeper into how they experience loneliness without you. It's about to become even more intense. Number 3, they feel the sharp sting of loneliness. So folks, after you've stepped back and given them the absence treatment, there comes a point when they start to feel something they've been avoiding for a while, the sharp sting of loneliness. After giving them the absence treatment, they will eventually confront the loneliness they've been avoiding. This is when reality sets in. You were the constant in their life, filling their empty moments, and now that space is filled with silence, which can be deafening. Initially, they may try to distract themselves with other people or activities that make them feel important, but soon they will realize something is missing. The noise, attention, and validation they sought are temporary. The one person who truly grounded them is gone, and that void begins to gnaw at them. Loneliness is more than just missing someone. It's the feeling of disconnection, as if something essential is absent. When you are their emotional anchor, providing support without expecting much in return, they will start to feel that emptiness unexpectedly. They won't be surrounded by people who genuinely care, nor will they receive your thoughtful messages or calls. The world will feel colder and more distant. They never anticipated feeling lonely because they always had your attention. They took you for granted, not envisioning a life without you. Now, left with their own company, they find it less comforting than expected. Loneliness is not just about being alone. It's about realizing that the person who filled those empty spaces is no longer there. The sting of loneliness hits when they recognize they are surrounded by noise yet feel more isolated than ever. They might seek solace in superficial connections, but they will realize that something deeper is missing: you. They may attempt to reach out to others to fill the void, but distractions cannot replace genuine connection. They will be among people, yet feel completely isolated because the one who made them feel seen and understood is gone. That's when the loneliness strikes hard. They will reflect on the times you were there for them, the moments of real connection, and the support you offered without expectation. Now, they are left with a hollow feeling that no one else can fill. Your absence forces them to confront their loss, and that realization is painful. They begin to understand that they didn't just lose someone who cared. They lost someone who gave their life substance and made them feel less alone. Now they are left with their thoughts and loneliness, and it stings. The truth is, loneliness stems not just from being alone, but from losing someone valuable. And you are valuable. They will come to realize this, but it may be too late. The sting of loneliness is now their burden, a harsh reminder of what they had and took for granted. Stand strong during this tough moment. This is where the shift occurs. They will feel it deeply and recognize they have lost something irreplaceable. Here's your affirmation: I stand strong. Let it resonate and share it to show the world that you are no longer the one filling someone else's empty spaces. You are living for yourself and allowing them to confront their own loneliness. Stay tuned, as this loneliness is just the beginning. Next, we'll discuss how they'll start comparing everyone to you, and this is where your power truly shines. Number 4. They start comparing everyone to you. So folks, after you've stepped back and given them the absence treatment, something even more powerful begins to unfold. They start comparing everyone to you. This is where the real shift happens. Initially, they may have believed they could easily replace you or find someone else to fill the void you left. However, they soon discover that no one else measures up. At first, they might meet new people or spend time with others in an attempt to fill the gap you created. But as time goes on, they begin to feel that something is missing. While the new people may be fun or entertaining, they lack the deep connection and authenticity you provided. They notice that no one communicates or interacts with them in the same meaningful way, leading them to think they don't understand me like they did, or they don't make me feel the way I felt with them. Gradually, they come to the realization that what they had with you was unique and irreplaceable. You set a high standard in their life, offering value, understanding, and a sense of being seen. Now that you're gone, they struggle to find that same depth in others. It's like trying to replace a gourmet meal with fast food. It may satisfy them temporarily, but it doesn't fulfill them in the same way. Every time they meet someone new or try to distract themselves, they are reminded of the connection they had with you. They may find themselves in conversations where they think, "This isn't how we used to talk," or "They don't get me like they did." As they compare their new relationships to what you shared, they may even question why they didn't appreciate you more when they had the chance. You gave them something real, your time, energy, and authenticity. These qualities are rare, and the more they interact with others, the more they will notice the differences. Each failed attempt to move on will remind them of you, leading them to wonder why they can't find someone like you. But that's no longer your concern. While they are busy comparing everyone to you, you are moving forward with your life. You've already leveled up, showing them through your absence that they won't find anyone like you again. Every relationship they attempt will be overshadowed by the memory of the impact you had on their life. The beauty of this situation is that, although you are no longer present, your influence continues to resonate. Each time they compare someone to you and realize the shortcomings, it serves as a reminder of your worth and the good thing they lost. Let them compare and struggle with the reality that no one else will measure up to you. You've left a lasting mark, and it won't fade away. They will keep searching and hoping to find another you, but deep down they will know it's a futile endeavor. Here's your affirmation: no one compares to me. Share this with the world and assert your value. You are not just another face in the crowd, you are irreplaceable. Let them feel the weight of their loss as they chase the shadows of what you once offered. This realization is significant, but there's more to explore. Next, we'll delve into the emotional turmoil they experience as they grapple with your absence. Don't miss it. Number 5. They struggle with emotional turmoil. So folks, after you've stepped back and given them the absence treatment, something else starts to happen. They begin to struggle with emotional turmoil, and let me tell you, it's not pretty. When you were in their life, you provided stability and calmness. Your presence balanced their emotions. Now that you're gone, they have to confront their emotional turmoil alone, and it's hitting them harder than they anticipated. Initially, they might try to act like everything is fine, and that your absence doesn't affect them. However, deep down, they are struggling with the emotional void you left behind, and it's starting to tear them apart. They may not show their pain, but underneath, they are a mess. While you were there, they didn't have to face their feelings directly. You supported and reassured them. Now, without you, they must confront those emotions alone, which is incredibly difficult. They begin to feel anxiety, guilt, and regret, emotions they buried when they took you for granted. They start to question their choices. Did I make a mistake? Why am I feeling this way now? This emotional turmoil is a storm inside them, revealing that they've lost something significant that they didn't appreciate until it was too late. They're left trying to make sense of their feelings, but confusion and regret overwhelm them. They are facing the consequences of their actions and realizing that the emotional security you provided cannot be easily replaced. They might attempt to distract themselves or get involved with others, but those feelings linger, making them feel unstable and unbalanced. As the emotional turmoil intensifies, they may panic, worrying about whether you've moved on or if they've lost you for good. These thoughts will haunt them, pulling them back into their emotional storm whenever they try to escape. Your absence is forcing them to confront a reality they were unprepared for. Meanwhile, you have moved on, free from the emotional baggage they left behind. They are the ones struggling with it now, and that's no longer your responsibility. Here's your affirmation: I release their chaos. Share this affirmation and let the world know where you stand. You've let go of their emotional mess, and now it's their turn to face the storm they created. We're deep into it now, but you can't stop here. Stay with me, because next we're going to talk about how they can't escape seeing happy couples everywhere. It's going to hit them hard. This is important. Number 6. They can't escape seeing happy couples. After you've taken a step back and given them space, something significant begins to happen that they can't avoid. They start to see happy couples everywhere, and this hits them hard. They notice couples holding hands, laughing, and enjoying each other's company, which reminds them of what they lost with you. At first, they might not think much of it, but as time goes on, seeing these happy couples becomes a painful reminder of their past. It feels like life is constantly reminding them of what they once had and took for granted, and that realization stings. The universe has a peculiar way of highlighting our losses, doesn't it? Whether they're out with friends or scrolling through social media. They can't escape the sight of people enjoying the kind of connection they once shared but didn't appreciate. This serves as a harsh wake-up call. Ironically, when you were in their life, they likely overlooked these moments and didn't value your care, time, and effort. Now, every happy couple they see is a stark reminder of the joy they let slip away. While they are stuck reflecting on their past, you are moving forward, building your life and growing stronger with each step. You are not dwelling on what once was, they are. They are haunted by constant reminders of the love and care you gave them, and it's taking a toll on them. Those happy couples symbolize what they could have had if they had only valued you. Let them feel this reality. While they watch happy couples, you are busy creating your own happiness. Here's your affirmation: I am my own happiness. Share it in the comments to show the world where you stand. You are not waiting for someone to complete you. You are living your best life while they remain trapped by their regrets. Things are starting to fall apart for them, and it's about to get even worse. Stay tuned, because next we will discuss how they confront social events all alone. You won't want to miss this crucial step. Number 7. They face social events all alone. After you've implemented the absence treatment, a difficult reality sets in for them. They must face social events alone. Those parties and gatherings they once attended with you are now experiences they navigate without your support. Initially, they may pretend it doesn't bother them, putting on a brave face. However, as time passes, the truth becomes clear. When you were present, you provided them with confidence and comfort in social settings. Your conversations, presence, and ability to make them feel seen and understood made a significant difference in their experience. Now, without you, they feel awkward and out of place. Every small talk and interaction feels emptier. They look around and see couples and groups of friends, which serves as a reminder of what they're missing: your energy and dynamic. They didn't realize how much you anchored them in those situations until your absence became evident. It's even more challenging when they encounter familiar faces who ask about you, making it impossible for them to ignore the fact that your absence is noticeable to everyone. While they struggle through conversations, feeling like something is missing, you are thriving. You're attending your own events, creating your own moments, and showing up for yourself. You are not the one facing awkwardness, they are. They are beginning to understand how much your presence once lifted them up, and now that support is gone. Let them experience this discomfort and navigate these events alone. It's the consequence of taking you for granted. Here's your affirmation: I am complete on my own. Share it in the comments to declare your independence. You are not waiting for anyone to make you whole. You are confidently owning every space you enter while they struggle to stand tall without you. It's becoming uncomfortable for them now, but there's more to come. Stick with me because next we're diving into the moment they start hearing about your achievements. You're going to want to hear how this affects them. Stay with me. Number 8. They hear about your achievements. After you've given them the absence treatment and moved on with your life, they start to feel the sting of your achievements. While they are struggling with their emotions and trying to fill the void you left, you are out there thriving and people are taking notice. Eventually, news of your success reaches them. At first, they might dismiss it, thinking that you will eventually come back to them. However, as your accomplishments accumulate, whether it's a promotion, a new project, or simply enjoying life, it becomes impossible for them to ignore. This realization hits them hard. They expected you to be waiting for them, but now they see you flourishing without them. This sudden awareness can be quite painful for them, as they may feel a sense of panic. They thought they had more time and that you would remain in the same place, but while they took you for granted, you were busy leveling up. Hearing about your success from others is even more difficult for them because it's out of their control. It's one thing to see you succeed, but when they hear about it through mutual friends or social media, it stings even more. It's as if the universe is reminding them of how well you're doing without them. While they struggle to keep up, you are setting and achieving new goals. You are no longer dependent on their validation. Your absence has allowed you to grow. Now they are left wondering what could have been if they hadn't taken you for granted. Here's your affirmation: I thrive without them. Share it in the comments to let the world know where you stand. You are not just surviving, you are thriving, achieving, and becoming the person they will wish they never let go of. This is when they truly begin to feel the weight of their mistakes. But there's more to this story. Stay tuned, as we will discuss when they finally recognize those mistakes. Trust me, you won't want to miss this part. Eventually, they reach a moment they can no longer avoid. They finally recognize their mistakes. It takes time, but it happens. They begin to reflect on the moments they took you for granted and overlooked your worth, and it hits them hard. At first, they might have thought you would always be there, that they could treat you however they wanted, but as the silence stretches and they feel the impact of your absence, it becomes clear that they messed up. They realize they lost someone incredible who was right in front of them. This realization is painful because they know they can't go back to how things were. They might replay old conversations and remember the times you supported and cared for them unconditionally, now left only with regret. All the moments they dismissed suddenly feel like significant mistakes. The longer they dwell on this, the more it eats away at them. They start to wonder what could have been if they hadn't been so careless or had treated you better. But it's too late now. You have moved on, and they are left with the knowledge that they are the reason things fell apart. They finally see their mistakes for what they are, missed opportunities to appreciate someone who brought real value to their life. While they are consumed by regret, you are thriving, building a future where you are valued and appreciated. They recognize their mistakes, but by now, you have grown too far beyond them to return. Here's your affirmation. I am irreplaceable. Share it in the comments to let the world know where you stand. You are not the one looking back. They are. They are stuck realizing that the best thing they had is the one thing they lost for good. We're almost at the end, but this last step is crucial. Don't go anywhere, as we'll discuss how they relive the past through the kindness of others. This is the final blow, so stay with me until the end. Number 9. They relive the past through others' kindness. After giving someone space and allowing them to be on their own, they are likely to experience something significant. They will remember the kindness you showed them. When someone new or even a friend shows them kindness, it reminds them of the love and care you provided in the past. While others may be kind, it doesn't compare to the depth of your support, time, and heart. When they receive genuine kindness from others, it brings back memories of the warmth and generosity you offered. This can be bittersweet for them. They might try to convince themselves that this new kindness is sufficient, but the reality is that no one else can match the effort and energy you gave. The smiles and gestures from others will only remind them of what they had with you and what they lost. It's a painful reminder that the meaningful kindness they took for granted is no longer present. Meanwhile, you have moved on, sharing your kindness and love with those who truly appreciate it. Here's an affirmation for you. I give my kindness to those who value it. Share this in the comments to show your stance. You are no longer a memory. You are moving forward, leaving them to reflect on what they can never have again. Now, you should feel empowered and ready to take control of your life. Consider subscribing to our channel for new videos every week that help you grow, become stronger, and recognize your worth. Don't forget to like this video. It helps us reach more people who need this message. Stay strong, and we'll see you in the next video.